Do do do. All right, we live. All right, guys, let me pull up the chat. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, I got it. I've got it. You know what I need? I need some Tylenol or Motrin or something, but it's too far. Where are my working crew at? Where's everybody that's at work right now? Hi, Cairo. What's up, Spice Lover? Hold on. Goddamn. What's up, Joy? Hi, Kiara. How's y'all days going? How's the day going? How's work? Spice Lover, you at work? Okay, don't be getting in trouble now, okay? But I'm happy to see you. I see you guys. Yes, you made it, Lisa. Right here, multitasking. Hey, Monique. What's up, Kiara? Kiara. Oh, you did a good deed today. What did you do? Share if you don't mind sharing. What good deed did you do today? What's up, Rena? Today has been lighter and brighter. Today I woke up really feeling good. For sure, I did. So I have to agree with you. Waiting for a parking space. You're waiting for a parking space? Hey, TT, it's Shanti. I'm knitting right now, starting the year off right. Oh, like you really knitting, like with knitting, or are you talking about like symbolically? If you knit, that's really cool. What's up, Bully? What's up, Divine Empath, Divine Tarot? Needles and weaving my reality like. That's nice. You're making a dress? That's so cool. That is so cool. Catch your life. It's been a minute for me. I'm glad you're here too. What's up, Tala? What's up, Angel? So for those of y'all, I've said this before, but it's been a minute. I think I said this last year. But if you are a reader and you have subscribers, and you want to collaborate, definitely hit me up. I'm in my collaboration era. So, want to have some fun? Let me know. Because that's what we do. We have to, connect. So, email me. And you don't have to be a Taurus reader. Like with yesterday, the collab that I did with Lovely, she does more all signs and just collective and elements and stuff like that. So I brought what she offers over to this channel. So even if you don't read for just Taurus, we can come up with something creative and we can vibe out like that. Okay. Kiara said, a lady got beat up for her phone and I returned it back. But I was real bad story behind the girl. So she got robbed for her phone and you gave it back to her? That's good. You gave her a new phone or you returned it back? Like you beat somebody up today? Didn't fully resonate then, but I believe it will now. Let me read what you said. Glad I caught you too, because you have a video from a couple of months ago. I was looking for, it was about the next 3 months, and you were saying by the spring, summer was going to pop off. I would say if you want to find, go under videos. Okay, yeah, go under videos. Instead of a playlist, go under videos. Like you click the videos. Because the playlist is only going to show you for what I'm currently working on. But the videos tab should pull up every video no matter the playlist in the order in which I upload. So you can like go all the way back as far as you want to go. And I'll probably name it like the next 3 months or something like that. Typically, when a prediction comes up, I try to put it in the title. So I gotta step my game up, or if I collab with anybody. But it's a great idea, though. Yeah, no pressure. I'm just gonna keep mentioning it. Hey, Nikki. Happy New Year to y'all too. Yeah, I found it and gave it back. I found. Oh, that is a good deed. Shout out to you, Kiara. For real. So let's go ahead and jump into the reading. Just wanted to vibe with y'all for a little bit. What's up, Rebecca? So how the energy reading works, we pick an emoji. And I see one, sunflower. Okay, so we pick an emoji. And for those that feel drawn to that emoji, I'm going to pull some cards and tell you what I see in store. So drop some sunflowers in the chat. Namaste, Shell. Oh. All right, so we got some good news coming in. We got some good news coming in, some good messages, something that you can get excited for. All my sunflowers in the chat. Especially if you aren't, like, something's about to take off. If you have been feeling as if you're barely hanging on at a job. Juju, how did you get over here? No, don't know me. Don't know me. Sorry. Jupiter is Walked all the way over here. Okay. So as I was saying, right? Originality and fulfillment in reverse. This is saying that you've been hanging in there and enduring something for a long period of time, and wherever you were, if this is a job, you were at that job trying to get that raise, that promotion, and just hanging in there. Some of y'all were there 8 years, 9 years, 11, 20. Okay. And they didn't want to give you that raise, that promotion. Especially also not wanting to embrace like your innovative ideas. There's something about that. Like if you were a supervisor, you could probably take this company to the next level. You get what I'm saying? If they would embrace what you bring to the table. All right. Also, if you are in a management position, this is telling me that like people have been what's that word? Sorry about that, y'all. My brother is playing the video game back here. So we got some soundtrack. So, oh, what I was saying? Um, Fulfillment in reverse. It's talking a lot about your money and getting the recognition. So we got Scorpio, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Aquarius. Okay. But get excited. All right, let's see what come out in my little mystery deck here. Hi, Tamika. Took you a minute to find it. What's up, Uncle? Juju. No. No, not, don't do that. Don't do that. All right, swimming naked in the ocean. Talk to me, baby. Okay. Now, future spouse came up in reverse, but I turned it. So you could be changing your mind about marriage, or someone else is changing their mind about marriage. All right. One thing's for certain, though, you do not want a karmic soulmate of any sort in your life. And something's supposed to happen within the next 6 months that you could get excited about. That's what it's saying. If you've been desiring being able to be yourself, your authentic self, and be accepted and not have to fight and tussle with people and explain yourself, I feel like that's coming in for you. We have good love vibes. You're not even looking for love. So when you're least expecting it, you're not looking for love. You're going to try to like dim yourself down or underplay yourself. That's what it's telling me. Like you're at a phase, I don't know when this is gonna happen, but it's like you're at a phase where you're like, fuck it, you free balling out here. So y'all don't want to wear no drawers, y'all don't want to wear no bra, y'all wear no bras, y'all skinny dipping. You under the moonlight, butt ass naked type of vibe. That's the vibe that I'm giving. It's giving hippie vibes, okay? Just one with nature in the middle of nowhere where you won't get arrested. Okay, that's the vibe that I'm tapped into. And so you kind of stay out the way. You're not looking for love coming in, but you damn sure you know how to spot a karmic soulmate from past lives, and you're like dodging, you're ducking and dodging, we ducking and dodging. Fa, fa, fa. I'm hearing that song. Okay. We have divine ones. Yeah, you're like, oh, I know what this is. So you guys expose narcissists and you trigger their enablers. Okay, so we have exposing secrets, divine one. So you have a purpose, which means you're eccentric, right? Because that hippie energy gives me eccentric. So you're going to attract a lot of people to you because you don't want them. You're not nonchalant. Your energy is very open. You're very receptive. But within less than 6 months, they're either turned off by you or they want you, and because they're narcissistic, they feel like they can have you, and they try to change something about you so you can fit into their reality, into their world. And some of them may try to control you through like creating roadblocks with fulfillment here, because it's almost like you trigger the narcissist to become obsessive, and narcissists don't like to be obsessive over people. They like to be able to have what it is that they want when they want it. And if they feel like you're making them wait, especially if they invest in you to a certain degree or they support you to a certain degree, you see another side of them. But with all that whimsical energy, you're doing exactly what you're meant to do, and that is not curtsy around their how they want to control you. Because it's passive aggressive. It's indirect. It's not going to be in your face. They're not going to tell you that. Some of them may be bold to say that, but because you're so mysterious and inconspicuous, they feel like it would be a bad chess move to be very forward with you, because they automatically assume that you're setting them up to be checkmate. Okay? And maybe you are. Maybe you are. Maybe you aren't. Okay. So I'm also picking up another message that some of you guys with the sunflowers, you are like, there's a part of your journey where there's a part of your journey where you're supposed to like embrace your single era. You're supposed to embrace your single era. But you're going to meet a lot of people that want to marry. That's what I'm seeing here. All right, let's go into the... It's not this lifetime. I feel like it's a past lifetime. What's up, Empress? Like, it's a very, very past lifetime. It's not this lifetime. So whatever karmic partner you have this lifetime, we're going to go into the Akashic right quick for some reason. Let's see. So it's not this lifetime. It's another lifetime. Unrequited love in reverse. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So there was an unfinished love story. Not with a karmic person, but there's something about a part of your relationship is karmic, because you guys had to come back and finish the story. You get what I'm saying? So let me know if that makes sense before I keep restating it. A part of it's karmic because y'all didn't say what you meant to say in a past life. Y'all didn't speak on something. You didn't express yourself. So when you have feelings for someone and you greatly desire that person, and you guys never get to tell each other that, you guys never express your feelings, or you never do something to clear that air, you come back, you reincarnate, and that karma from that lifetime, it creates unfinished business. Okay? Okay, so that person, so it's almost like spirit is saying, well, we can't technically say it's not karmic, but we can't say it's karmic. You see what I'm saying? Because it's in the in between. It's not karmic in a bad sense where y'all have bad blood. It's more or less like I longed for you, I wanted you, and I never told you. And so y'all came this lifetime, and in this particular lifetime, there's a moment in time where they don't have any codependency, you don't have any codependency, and y'all have done so much spiritual work on yourselves where the stars are aligning for you guys to finally have that moment to say what you meant to say, to communicate your feelings. And whether the person rejects you or not, whether you guys end up together or not, you clear out that karma because you say it. And so this is a lesson about not attaching yourself to the outcome, but rather remaining true to how you feel and just speaking from your heart. This is a lesson not just for one of you, but for both of you. Okay? So when you feel that urge to just say it, closed mouths don't get fed. You say what you mean to say, and boom, the energy's healed just like that. Who would have thought the energy would be healed just from saying that? Look at that. Look at that. And then you have wedding. Y'all get on my nerves. Whoever you and this person is, I'm going to tell y'all right now, y'all energy get on my nerve. Because it's that type of vibe where we're not addressing the elephant in the room, but clearly it's very obvious. You could be at work with this person and it's obvious y'all like each other. Friends with this person and it's obvious y'all like each other. Why am I like messing up my words? Your natural healing energy, healing abilities are an important part of your life purpose. Oh man, your heart is like playing telephone. Like y'all hear your hearts be calling out to each other, crying out to each other. You connect to your life purpose through your involvement with books. Okay, so y'all are writers or y'all telling a story. This is about you telling the story the way you want it to be told and the way you want it to be remembered. And this is your opportunity. This is your lifetime. I don't want to know. What's up, poetic? Okay, let's pull out this deck here. What'd you say? I'm a poet slash writer. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. So that would make a lot of sense, right? With the books energy here. Um, what's the name of that movie where he writes a book and he talks about the past, he talks about the present, but like the characters in his book are actually his friends. I think it's My Best Man or something like that. So there's something along those lines of those that are writers, book writers, songwriters, different things like that. You're actually telling your story, the ups and downs. It's like your love story is being expressed, or you will. I'm saying you will express your love story through your creativity. All right, let's get your 5 cards. And we're gonna move on to another emoji. Okay. Okay, you could be a Taurus, Libra, a Taurus. Well, I said Libra, but I meant to say Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Pisces. All right, I'm hearing calling, calling card, or calling. Um, it's like on a whiteboard. COLLIN. So calling, or I meant to say calling. I heard calling, but I saw calling on a board. So either this is your name, or this is about your calling, or this is someone that spirit is communicating to you about. Ten of Wands in reverse. Okay, so you're in love, and your loyalty and your commitment to someone is what is keeping you from expressing love or investing in love at this phase in your life. Now, the King of Cups to me is someone that gives bad advice. Typically, they know how to say what you need to hear to get you to do what they need you to do, right? So when you go to that one friend and you feel like, okay, drunk man, sober words, it may not be what I want to hear, but they're going to put it in a perspective that allows me to get out of my own way. And a lot of times that's cool. But I feel like with the King of Cups in reverse, this person isn't invested in your soul's commitment, your calling. And I think that's why we're getting both words interchangeably. This person's not invested in your soul's calling. They're invested in this lifetime. They're invested in what you need to do for this lifetime. So it's kind of like the closest person to you or whoever you rely on for advice. They don't care about what your soul wants. That's what the cards are pretty much saying. Partnership. This is someone that you're in partnership with. And so this person is feeling more territorial about you having some type of spiritual soul relationship with someone outside of them. And it's like your guide spirit is pretty much saying this person is manipulating you. Like they're using something that you've experienced in the past. Like, you remember what happened last time. You wanted to do this. How'd that end up for you? Remember how this turned out. You wouldn't want to repeat that. So when someone's close to you and they're telling you, they're constantly feeding you what something was as a way to prevent you from going in that direction, they're conjuring up fear in you, and they're the ones that wield the power over you. And inadvertently, you don't even realize that they're moving the chessboard. You're a puppet in their show, but they can also flip it where they convince you that it's for your greatest good and it's because they care about you. So is there something about disguising because it's telling me with the Seven of Pentacles here in reverse, it's something about you trusting someone more than you trust yourself. Who is this energy? Crystals. Your connection to crystals and gemstones is the channel for healing energy. So this person is something about crystals. Now there's two, either it's like a physical crystal in your hand or something crystallizes. Like someone may know how to communicate directly to the part of your brain that is receptive and controllable. And if someone is utilizing that psychic, that ability to access a part of your brain to communicate to you and directly get you, it's like someone having their hand in your brain and they're just, they're just getting you right where they want you, and then you'll sit down and think about it. They'll convince you that you're taking time to think about it yourself, but really what you're doing is putting yourself in a position of purgatory. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell myself over and over and over again. I'm picking up Virgo energy. I'm going to analyze the situation. I'm going to be a perfectionist, and then if I do something wrong, I'm going to talk to myself in the mirror to reaffirm whatever advice or guidance that someone else gave you. And this is pretty much saying, with the Hierophant, this is how it begins and this is how it ends. Every time you try to be a rebel, every time you try to go against the grain, every time you try to say this is what you want to do, and it's typically always revolved around love. All right, so there's a distorted perception around what love is and how the people around us that also ground us can be the very thing keeping us from what our soul wants, and we don't know who to trust anymore. And so trusting it's like that moment where you're under some type of illusion. Like being underneath that illusion. But then because you're like hardwired to love and be able to see right versus wrong, it's almost like spirit is pretty much telling you that what's going to eventually happen if you don't get yourself down off this cross, if you don't stop punishing yourself and actually do what it is that you want to do, what's going to happen is that person that feels like they can't get you to stop loving someone or wanting something or wanting a different path or whatever, they're pretty much going to you're going to become triggered and start like attacking the person that you love or doing things. And so it's kind of setting up this plot where if it came down to it and you had to choose between someone that is hypothetically telling you what life would be like for you if you don't listen, or someone that is saying, do what you want to do, I wouldn't want you to, like, there's going to be another person that you love that isn't going to place the ultimatum there. They're not going to tell you that there will be consequences if you don't choose them. They're going to be the only one that is saying, I don't care how much you love me. I don't care how much you love them. Do what you want to do. Put yourself first. And the love that they have for you will not change. That's the type of commitment. That's the type of consistency. Matter of fact, they're going to encourage you to go after what it is that you want and be who it is that you want to be, even if y'all don't end up being together until you gray and 10 years away from the grave. You get what I'm saying? Or you try it again next lifetime. Those judgments in character is what your optical lens needs, kind of to create that spark to help to get you out of your own way and to make you listen to your heart and not be a thinker. Something about being an overthinker, over analyzing, and like the Pentacles is about tangible things, doing things, right? You have everything that you need. There's nothing more that you need. But this is saying there's some perfectionist energy here that makes you say, well, maybe I have to wait a little bit longer, maybe a couple more months, or maybe next time, maybe now it's not the right time. But you're overthinking it. Something about overthinking it, okay? I mean, this type of stuff that give you a muscle spasm, because like this side of my shoulder, it feels like someone like grabbing it, okay? It feels like someone like has a grip on you that you can't shake. That's how I feel. All right. Where's my thingy? Sheesh. Oh my goodness. I have pain from overworking my muscles in the kitchen. What you doing? Making Jiffy? You stirring the pot? Cooking for the whole house? Chopping wood? Y'all are hilarious. Okay, so we got 10 more minutes. Well, actually, it's 20 minutes. So, drop another emoji, whatever calls to you, whatever comes to your mind first. You got pain in the gym, Unc? Oh, my Lancer. All right, I like the bone. So we're going to do the bones. Let's give that dog a bone, honey. That's what I heard. You said you're getting right for bull game season. What do they call it? Summer body ready. You trying to be naked in the ocean, ain't you? I'm just kidding. I'm so serious. You know, in Florida they have a nude beach for real, for real. If no one ever knew about it. You know, you gotta go down to Hollywood. Hollover Beach. They love it. Yeah, you gotta go to Hollover Beach. Especially early in the morning. They be like, it's a beautiful day. It's like a view, you know, it's just a wonderful view to just see so many people happy. And then no one's staring at you. It's not even like that. It's just like happy, soaking up the sun. Okay. Just feeling free. Okay. So for all the bones in the chat. You don't want no sand in your crack? That's why you get in the ocean. You rinse out. You rinse off. Oh my God. You would think of the worst case scenario. Such a Taurus. All right. So for all the bones in the chat, what we have, detachment. And then we have riches. Okay. You may be to yourself. You may be on your own, but you ain't broke. You rich. You rich. Bottom of the deck. You a star. Whatever it is that you do, whatever it is you have, You're rich, straight up. So respect. How many people can say that? They can't. You know what I'm saying? They can't. Aquarius. You be off in your own world. So we have 11th house and 10th house. So right now you're really dominating your career, communications, expression of your talents. You're meeting people, you're connecting, you vibing. Um, so though people may tell you like, oh, you got skeletons in your closets, you still rich. Though people may tell you that you're not living your life, you're gonna die alone, you still rich. So you do have, you do have, you have something. So it's like it's hard to tell if this is something that, if their opinion is something that you even really care about, or if it's deflection, or if it's just like you really don't give a fuck, but other people care more about it than you do. But at the same time, I have to ask that question. Like, Spirit is putting it on me to think about it, because we attract, a lot of times when people come towards us, it's not always an attack. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not always an attack on you. A lot of time the universe, the only way the universe can interact with us. The universe, yes, can communicate to us in stillness, and we can hear the divine Holy Spirit within on our own, and we don't really have to interact with people. But those seasons, winter even has a season that, unless you're in the north, unless you're like in the, Antarctica or something. But anyway, I digress. What I'm saying to you is that the divine, the source, universe will interact with you through people. Because the more detached that we become, the more we're in our head and we're in our logic than we are in our feelings. Okay? The ice is supposed to thaw. Okay? The ice is supposed to thaw, and the season for feeling is supposed to come in. So when people come towards you and they feel like you're not happy, I see something in you. Maybe they're using their empathy. Maybe the divine is saying, I want to go and talk to that cold-hearted individual over there that's rich and got a lot of money and they don't need nobody. And I want you to go over there and I want you to be like, I want you to say something. And you may be like, here they come, being nosy and in my business. But really the message is deeper. Because I do feel like the divine is trying to communicate. I do. Not saying that you give a fuck, but I do feel like the divine is trying to communicate to you. Light worker. I'm telling you. I just got quiet. It's like y'all tuning the divine out in some capacity. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. So let's see what comes out of your cards. That's just too many. So it's like having a mailbox that's backed up that hasn't been checked in a long time. Your emails are backed up. Your messengers are backed up. Your voicemail is backed up, and you're just putting it all off. But just because you're putting it all off, whatever you're putting off, it doesn't mean that it's not accumulating. Yeah. Introducing the mother prototype. What is going on? I heard I'm not the one or the two to be played with. Okay. So you don't want to teach nobody how to love you. You don't want to teach nobody how to talk to you. You don't want to teach nobody how to be more mature. Your patience is very thin when it comes with dealing with arrogant people, egotistical people, people that want to feel important. I just feel like you're not really interested in that. Reiki healers. I feel like if you could put everybody in a room that has issues that prevents them from being on your level and from seeing the world from your perspective, you would put them all in that room, and if you can click a button that would just speed up their development and get them out of their own way, you would. So you don't have to sit there and and it's really coming off like it's kind of coming off like control, you know? Like fixing control. Right, we have Reiki healer here. But even with Reiki, right? If you are using your life force to connect, it's like Reiki is supposed to be the violet flame, okay? The angelic realm, right? Higher consciousness, source consciousness utilizes your vessel as a straw. And so really, you're just a conduit for the current. So the person that has the ailment, the person that has the experience, they're using their own life force, right? To agree or disagree, right? You can only, even with Reiki, you can only help somebody as much as they want to help themselves. It's really their energy. And you're just holding a divine space. You're holding space for them to clear out their own energy. That's it. That's all, really. It's not like you're doing it. It's not like you're fixing them. It's not like you're healing them. You're just being an energetic straw, a channel to hold space. Let me see. So when you feel like, okay, they just need this and they could be better, or they just need that and they can be better. They just need to touch source and they can do this, or touch, and have the experience that I had with source, then everybody would be able to see that this isn't a bad thing or this is a good thing. And so it's kind of compartmentalizing the way in which source chooses to communicate with us and trying to speed up evolution and speed up time. And that's how, we ran across a lot of people that, because let's not forget, Hitler was a Taurus. Let's not forget that you can switch. They can flip a switch that becomes controlling to the point where you're fixing other people or you're mind controlling other people for the betterment of themselves or whatever your agenda is. And if we're not careful, we can go, we can hit the other side of the wall that turns us into the ice king and queens of this day and age. So I feel like that's kind of like, it's like hollow. Something feels very hollow. It's making me feel like robotic with the introducing the mother prototype. It's kind of like robotic, but at the same time, that intelligence is also learning. It's trying to discover what makes up, like, how does a person communicate? I feel like someone needs to learn how to communicate more empathically, how to communicate, like what Mother Nature looks like. You know what I'm saying? It feels like an intelligence that's trying to study what the Mother Nature is, how Mother Nature co-creates with the divine, right? And communicate that alpha and omega experience, that OA experience. So it can replicate or duplicate it, but there's a key ingredient that's missed, and that is the part where we allow humanity to fall down. It's kind of like that motherly nature, right? That isn't trying to prevent you from experiencing the lower levels of consciousness, the halfway point, and then ascending and keep keep growing through trial and error. That part, Mother Nature doesn't take away from any creation that she creates, whether it's trees, whether it's animals, insects. The life cycle, the process of time, and just being in the present moment is an important aspect of creation. And I feel like with this over here, it's kind of like somebody don't like humans. It's like you get any colder, you gonna be Thanos. You know, you get any colder, you gonna wipe out creation. It's like, why do we have to come back here? Let's just all stay in the spirit realm. It's like someone we saw the movie Soul, where they did not want to have to go back and incarnate, and then they came back, and it's like, why are we here? What are we doing? This is ghetto. But then at the same time, a part of your life challenge is to make the best of it and to find the beauty in it. And it's like, who said this was beautiful? So you could be really like, the way that you interact with people is like, who cares about love? All that shit is irrelevant. When you die, just don't come back. Stay in the other side. And that is really like, it's very, this means you really wouldn't want to care about what's coming in love. You really you wouldn't want to be seduced by the story. Okay, there's the art to the seduction of telling stories, right? And humanity is about stories. We're a living skit walking around having this experience. And to be seduced by the story is to allow yourself to experience it and to be able to connect with people from all versions of expression of existence. But that connection, not really able to connect like that, is like, baby, you dead already and you ain't even crossed over yet. Okay. You got some more time. What you gonna do with all that time? Your clock didn't wind out yet. So if you had 20 more years on the clock, how would you utilize it? You want to have experienced love. You want to connect with people. You want conversation. You need love, honey. Okay. Because I promise you right now, notice why trees produce sperms and that's masculine trees, right? They spit out sperm all day. You got the feminine trees. They create the fruit. They bear fruit from their trees. They having sex all day long. Psst, pop. You know, they over here. They doing it all day long. It just is what it is. Because it's the gift that keeps on giving. They feed the next person. And you're like, yeah. See? You wouldn't have that honey if I wasn't shooting out sperm. And yeah, she's like, you wouldn't be enjoying that fruit. You wouldn't be enjoying that fruit. So I don't know if you live in an area where there's a lot of masculine trees around you and there's no fruit. Okay. But I really think you could benefit from being in an environment or a climate that has some trees, like orange trees, apple trees. You need some feminine trees in your life. You need more feminine energy in your life because this is cold. Don't nothing grow in the cold. What fruits grow in the cold? Yeah, some of y'all need to go to Florida before it goes underwater. And don't not go to Florida because you said, oh, TT said it's going to be underwater. The whole world was halfway underwater. Damn. Okay, pears. If you're in a colder climate, like just find a strawberry field, or sometimes they have the gardens and you just go. But there's something about the need, because you could have like a lot of sinus pressure, constant allergies, and that's because you're around a lot of masculine trees. And if you can't get to one, plant you one, create a makeshift feminine tree on your balcony or something, so you can connect with the mother nature. Something about connecting with the mother nature. So you could there's great wisdom when you're sitting there tending to a plant that takes time to bear fruit. You understand the importance of having patience for creation, and you need that extended to you. You need to have more patience for creation so you can stop hating humans and yourself, because the more you hate humans, the more you hate the vessel that you embody this lifetime. I don't care if you are an alien. Typically spirit guides and aliens that take on human form, they're actually the most kindest people in the world. And even when you do the wrong to them, they have no resentment towards you. You ever see someone that is disabled and all they do is smile all day? No matter who they come encounter with, that's saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I feel so bad for that person," or "Oh, that's sad," or they pitying them. Their soul is full of so much light and so much joy to be able to even look at you through those lens, okay? Or to be able to just feel you with the senses of if they can't see or they're blind, they experience you through sound. Just to be able to go, "Oh my God, I'm hearing sound." So a lot of those beings actually are not like this. So if you consider yourself, maybe you're gray, or you're what's another but typically those beings, they have a different type of they're so high vibrational, they're not even like resenting the fact that they're here. Yeah, y'all need to get some cow manure in your hands. You need to play with shit so you can appreciate it. Hey, listen, this is considered and it's about to help my plant grow. Pleiadians, to me, I feel like Pleiadians, I wouldn't say necessary. It's giving me more gray or serious. We have the athlete in reverse. Messages. The sage, be devoted and committed. Twin flame. Let me tell you what this is. This ain't nothing. Okay, clock that. Y'all more earthbound than y'all realize. Because it says reading between the lines, that's in reverse. Signs, curiosity, messages, that's in reverse. Athlete, the athlete in reverse. This is saying, yeah, spirit clocking y'all with the twin flames and devoted here. This may be like the more, it's like the more you are isolated, the more you believe that you are devout, the more you are committed to staying away from people, the more you feel like you're doing everything right, but really you're doing all the things wrong. You are in a state of survival mode, trying to find a way, but you're refusing to connect in a very real and tangible way, which makes you kind of like a ghost. Like you're there, but you could be rich in all the physical things or rich in so many different areas, but this is spiritually bankrupt. Because it's like your commitment is so fixed that you won't allow yourself to experience. You ain't gonna drink nothing. You ain't gonna smoke nothing. You don't want to catch no cold. You just don't want to go through nothing uncomfortable. Nothing. Now, the reason why the athlete is reversed, it's not talking about like you don't go to the gym. The athlete in reverse is talking about the conditioning seasons. Every 3 months, you're going into conditioning seasons. And when it's time to get into those seasons, y'all are so busy working or focusing on your career or focusing on things that gives you a generated output that you don't give yourself time to go through the other seasons. It's like a way to bypass all of the seasons of rest, all of the seasons of falling, all the seasons of being barren, because you're like constantly harvesting. And when you stay in this frequency, the more you harvest like this, you step outside of creation. You're more robotic. You're an engine. You're a machine. You're a worker. So it's like being out of touch with nature, but so in touch with it to the point where you're out of it. It's like, you're like, well, I go in nature all the time. Yeah, just because you go in nature all the time and you sit there doesn't mean that God is talking to you. That means that you're hearing your ego talk to you. Your ego could be very loud. Because you're like, I walk the straight and narrow. I do everything right. I follow this to the T. I should be getting exactly what I need. But you become in a valley of dry bones, the valley of death. That's why this says earth element, survival, adaptable, but you're reliable. Y'all the most reliable people, but you haven't let yourself live. You said, I relate more with the animals than the people. They're animals and people. That's a contradiction. I relate more with the dog than the human, but I'm part dog. It's like the pot calling the kettle black. Y'all do the same shit. Make it make sense. Ain't no way you cut that up. It's gonna sound real buffoonery. No matter how you slice it. See? You don't like roach, but in order to be a human, you have lived the life of being a roach, and you are part roach DNA. You don't like lizards, you don't like reptiles, you part reptile. Genetically, you are a splice. Human beings are a splice of every creation, mutation of prior creations. Scared of yourself. That's why they study animals and insects as a way to better understand humans. That's why they have those rats in the lab, because half of us are rats. We part rats, but we don't like rats. This shit keep falling. I'm telling you. It's like doing the same shit, expecting different results. Look at this. Spirit is talking. The dog is talking. Take him off the leash, because he don't want to be on the leash. Creation don't want to be on a leash. I'm gonna get what's when I get my expansion and shit right. Just take him off the leash. You've been on a leash too long. It's time to live. Take him off the leash. You just put him in the cage. Take him off the leash, out the cage, and let the dog run. Let the dog run. Damn. She got a sense of freedom kicking in from the vibes in here, so let me let you free. Let the dog out. Now he don't even want to come out the cage. You don't open the cage, took the leash off, and his ass still want to stay in the cage. What the hell? You see how that's a contradiction? Your ass trying to get off. Then when the divine let your ass off, you stay put.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Now you scared to come out. The door is open.
Door open for real though.
But all that noise he made running around, that scared him more
Nah,
than attempting to get out. That's how it is.
nah,
You become more scared of all the shit that's gonna fall down because you're scared.
let's do it.
You're gonna fall down. You're gonna experience discomfort.
You call it orders, bro. I call it advice, bro. What you mean, bro? Suggestions. Yes, bro. Suggestions, bro.
So who the hell left the gate open?
That's what my vice president is supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Now, why is this twin flame here? Because that's the only one that don't make sense to me now. Some of y'all don't want to hear messages about twin flame, or you feel like your twin flame brings unwanted experiences towards you that you don't like, that feel out of your control.
Yeah, bro.
That's too damn bad, Courtney. That's too damn bad.
You both.
You're on the right path. So keep doing what you're doing because it's working. Your twin flame, whatever your twin flame is doing, the divine is saying, keep triggering them. Keep doing whatever it is you're doing. Keep being you. Because it's triggering. It's very triggering.
Listen, my vice president.
They're supposed to give you some type of confirmation that this is what you're supposed to be doing. Uncle, I'm done with you. He's talking about his twin flame is probably a blunt. I'm done with you. Sir, what's up with this twin flame? Health. Yeah, y'all twin flame is the type of person that it's like the really careful and obedient and responsible and reliable twin. You're opposite of you. Your twin that's opposite of you is probably vulgar. They take risks. They are gambling. They're doing things that are reckless. And when you're with this person, you feel like you're doomed to experience all the pitfalls of their bad choices. And that you don't want to be attached to. You don't want to be attached to that. Travel in reverse. Some of you guys, your twin flame may be the type of person that doesn't want you to travel, or they don't want you to go anywhere. They want you to themselves. But you're meant to be the opposite that does it anyway. Because where they gonna go? What they gonna do? They can't do nothing to you. It's like hurting themselves. You see how that the mirror reflection of you to really to feel like you have to change who you are to be with your twin. That's not true. Y'all are really like yin and yang, opposites attracting. You're supposed to be opposite. So for some of y'all, being with them feels like you get off path. Some of y'all, being with them feels like you're not listening to God, or you can't hear God anymore, or the source is not communicating to you because you're not devoted or celibate. And that's furthest from the truth. You're supposed to be able to know that you're still on your path because source is inside of you, right? That commitment is inside of you. It's not attached to the flesh or the religious aspect of what celibacy is. Sometimes you're in celibacy through seasons and it's quarterly. Or, you take this day of rest to yourself, whatever. It doesn't have to be as fixed as the system or the matrix presents itself to be in your 3D reality. So you may battle with whether or not you're falling out of grace, or you're staying on your high horse, or you're allowing your twin to drag you down to hell. Like there's so many different ways that will play out, but really it's like every time that thought comes up, you're supposed to rewrite it. Okay? For those of y'all where it's health, maybe they have addictions, maybe they have sex addiction, maybe they have alcohol addictions, maybe they have a certain lifestyle that's just so opposite of you, and you feel like every time y'all are together, y'all run into roadblocks, right? Money roadblocks. Every time y'all together, it's a health issue, it's a health scare, or accidents happen, car accidents. This is like, it's like all the darts. Okay, y'all run into a lot of past life connections with other people that attack the connection. Okay, and wish that y'all don't be together, and so y'all get a lot of adversity. So each path may be different. Others of you, you may feel like manifestation slows down for y'all. Your life purpose slows down for you when you're with your twin. You know, or this person may feel like, oh, you choosing work over them, or oh, you're choosing this, but maybe they don't say it. Maybe they may get possessive or jealous, but they don't mention it to you. Maybe they show you passive aggressively. I don't fucking know. All it's saying is, whatever you go through with that person, it's just an opportunity for you to not take shit so personally. That's it. That's all. And I know that sounds like, but that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's just an opportunity not to take shit so personally. The one thing that your twin teaches you is to not take life so seriously and not take shit so personally.
I ain't gonna lie, I got nothing to say about that.
All those blockages, it shows you a mirror that is you. It's you against you, because you can't control what's outside of yourself. And so when people are like, how can you be with someone like that that's completely opposite from you? Look how they talk. They curse all the time. Look how they carry themselves. That's not a good representation of you. You're supposed to be like, but that's still my person. So like it or love it, take it or leave it. You got a problem with that? That's a you thing. You're supposed to be able to defend each other at being where you are without desiring to change each other.
First of all, middle age women, bro.
And so the more you accept them where they are,
Women, bro. Why you?
whether they're able to accept you that way or not yet, the more that they're inspired. Like, if you could do it, I could do it. Y'all ever heard that? You start to feel like,
Yeah, man's gonna hop on that
if
shit.
you're capable of not taking something personal that I do, then maybe I could challenge myself not to do the same, And that's how you guys evolve. But if you're stubborn in your ways and you think that, well, I'm just not going to change. And so because they won't change, I'm going to block them and delete them and not talk to them. All you're doing is keeping both of y'all energy stifled and stuck. Because whether or not this person comes and go, if you really don't take it personal, if you don't hear from them for 6 months, when you hear from them again, it's like time never passes, right? If you are really not taking shit personal, if you feel like they didn't communicate how they wanted to communicate or behave how you wanted them to behave when you see them, you're not spending your time talking about what they did last time y'all saw each other 3 months ago. It's kind of like that person that just come and go as they want, both of y'all, because you have absolutely no control over each other. You know? So y'all go in and out of interchangeably, responding to these types of situations differently. But one thing you don't want to do is block the messages from coming through. One thing you don't want to do is be so devoted to the point where you get out of sync and out of rhythm with nature, the real mother nature, and you create it's like you slip into survival mode. Because then that'll put you like, I'm trying to be the reliable person for both of us. I'm trying to be the responsible person for both of us. Can't you see that what I'm trying to be for us? And really the divine is saying, who told you to do that? Who told you that you had to take on that burden like that? Great question. Who wants to keep doing that though? That's a really great question. Who wants to keep doing that? Let's see. It says, and this is in reverse, you're an earth angel who was born to protect, nurture, and teach about nature and the animals. So the more you go through experiences with your twin flame, the more you're capable, the more you're qualified for your life purpose. So you know how they say, if God hires you, who can fire you? I don't know her name, but she be channeling on YouTube too, and she says it all the time. If God hire you, who can fire you? So whatever life experience that you are meant to go through, that is God offering you a job. That life experience will qualify you to be able to connect with nature, to be able to connect with all levels of creation.
Yeah.
So who wants to keep doing that? Those that want to be hired and qualified by God.
Mostly you, Jemima, bro. Come on, dog.
Yes, Maji got the tea. She says it all the time.
That's exactly what it is, bro.
She be on shorts all day long. If God hire you, who gonna fire you? But if you don't want to go through shit, you can't be hired. If you're avoiding adversity, experiences, conflicts, opposition, right? Then God can't work through you because you want to stay in a cage. You want to be safe. Yeah. Sometimes the rehabilitation center is also being able to say no. And the lesson for you may not be that people just keep coming to you to want to be rehabbed, to be rehabilitated. But when they come to you, maybe you're meant to be a tough, maybe you're meant to give tough love. And that's okay. It's not cookie cutter. We think rehabilitation is supposed to take all applicants. Sometimes God is saying, I want you to be able to discern, use your discernment on who is ready to receive. Even though you may get a flood of people, don't mean that you're supposed to accept every application. But why would you turn off the flow of abundance that is being attracted towards you because you haven't come up with a good system of how to process your how to process your clientele, how to process the people in need? You need to get organized then, and you need to create a file cabinet. Okay, this is their strong, so these are their weaknesses. This is something that's not ready. This is someone that's more ready. I'm gonna give my attention more to this than that. That's how you process the flow of abundance that's coming towards you. You don't shut the door of abundance because you cut yourself off from the creator, which all things flow through. Right? When you get, if you do hair and you keep getting a lot of angry clientele, that don't mean that you need to say, I don't want to do hair no more because you qualified to do hair. God qualified you to do hair. What that means is you need to come up with a better file. You need to come up with a better pricing system that requires people to pay for their privilege of talking shit. You can put your money where your mouth is now. Now you're gonna put a deposit when you come in. I'm not gonna turn you away, but now I gotta add a little more on to you so you can learn your lesson. So you have to be willing to teach other people in the same time that they're coming towards you. It's an opportunity. It's always an opportunity. It's always a reward. It's always a gift. Every single time. I don't care if it's the worst of the worst person or the best of the best person. It's up to you to be able to see the silver lining. And not be, I don't want to deal with this. It's too much drama. I don't want to be bothered. Right? Let's say you always attract people that don't have nowhere to go and they want to come live with you, and you're like, why am I always the person that everyone want to take advantage of? I'm the empathic person, right? Maybe you're meant to have a shelter. Maybe you're meant to practice in your current home on how to run a shelter. Maybe you're meant to practice a new system where maybe you get up earlier than everybody else and you create a spreadsheet on your refrigerator that gives everybody a purpose. Maybe you're asked to be rise to the occasion. There's something about your purpose in every experience that you do. What keeps being attracted to you is your riches. It's your inheritance. It's your gift back to the world, back to humanity.
You funny, bro.
You feel me?
But the basic basics.
But because you don't know how to flip, you don't know how to flip shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no street smarts, and you don't know how to turn something into, you know how to turn shit into gold. You don't know how to turn water into wine. You missing all the wonders that the master teacher spoke of. You feel me? So if I give you this raw ingredient, it ain't been processed yet. It doesn't have a purpose yet. But I want you to break this down, and I want you to put it into smaller sections, and I want you to make it more digestible, and I want you to repurpose it, and I want you to show how I create. I want to move through you like water. And you're going to always be provided for. You're going to always be taken care of. The question is, do you trust me? That's the conversation that the divine is trying to have. That's the message that the divine is trying to get you to read between the lines. That's the jargon, right? That the divine is trying to get you to see. Whatever I bring towards you, hate, trolls, that is a gift. That's a blessing. How can you take that hater energy? How can you turn that negative into a positive? How can you make it work for you? How can you allow them to take you to the next level? I choose what I bring into you because I know your soul and I know what you're good at. Even if you haven't realized that you're the diamond in the rough, right? But I'm going to make you so sharp. I'm going to cut you so much to the point where you will sparkle unlike any diamond that has ever reflected on this earth. And I will show the world that you are a star in the flesh on earth that has fallen from the sky, and no man will be able to take that from you. Okay? So break it down by the pound, repurpose it, flip it, and you rich. Rich bitch tivities. Okay? That's what it is. That don't mean you gotta, just because the sick people come to you don't mean you gotta be with every sick person. You know? Maybe you're meant to just be the angel that they get to grace. I experienced one angel this one time. And this one angel said something to me that I'll never forget. And that one conversation could change the trajectory of a soul. You know? Do you think the people at the hospital is able to choose how many people come and go? No, they don't. They just keep on taking more patients. So the lucky for you guys, whatever type of twin flame you have, that's the divine telling you what you're good at. Divine is saying you're good at this because your twin flame took you. Every time you get in your own way, your twin flame will manifest. You're good at this. Don't forget it. Don't take it so personal. And the more you practice not taking it personal, the more you can be of service to the world, to humanity. I need some water. Whew. It got hot. But that's what I have. What did you say, Mona? You said Jesus said to teach the ones who want to learn, to stay and try to change the non-believers would be like sacrificing yourself. That's my summary of it anyway.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep, especially when the student
Oh god.
when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Nah, it was. I shot them inside the place, bro. They came inside there, bro. They caught me lacking inside this
So a
building,
lot
bro.
of times I feel like when people aren't ready for something, and this is not
They
for
caught me lacking
all,
inside this building.
this is not for all healers, right? Or all teachers. But sometimes depending on what your with companionship, what your purpose is, like Jiminy Cricket, right? Jiminy Cricket always had a umbrella and a suitcase. When he's no longer needed, he disappears. He goes somewhere else when he's no longer needed. So it's kind of like that. That's how I look at it because what the students can be telling the teacher is
That nigga sound like
you
Bud
keep
Light,
trying
bro.
to be in an area or an environment or a space where you're not in a position, you're not strategically placed in a position where the students can't even find you. The right students can't even find you because you're supposed to be appearing. And so those students that are not ready to learn or grow with you, they're meant to stay where they are. You're meant to leave. Is it possible? Is it possible that you could be in a relationship with somebody and y'all go through a death and rebirth together and still be together? Yes.
Bro, Kyle, what are you playing, bro?
We
Kyle, what
speak
you playing,
rarely.
bro?
This person is a content creator
Just
too, and that's
ask a
kind of
fucking
what
question,
I'm
bro.
getting into is becoming kind of my
What do you
own
want to listen?
content creator,
We
putting
all
my
what do
own
you want to
stuff
listen?
out there every day, and it's
Mm-hmm.
all about God.
I'm finna get on two games on it.
That's cool.
I'm finna get on Destiny with y'all.
That's really cool.
Which one?
I am your conscience. You're the
You
teacher who
want me?
appeared for me
You
when
want
I
me
was
here?
down bad under the sea in the valley.
Well, y'all on PC?
I love you, Cairo. Monique.
Okay, but
Yes.
what DLC you see
What's
yourself
up,
starting?
Patai? So when it's time for the teacher to evolve, grow,
How would you evolve
anybody
yourself
that
since this song?
feels like, oh, you're changing, you're switching up, you're not doing something the same, I prefer it like this. It's a
Let me
message,
fix
it's an
my face real quick.
indirect message reflection for the student to realize that they struggle with expansion. They struggle with things changing. They prefer things to remain the same. They have a they have a
I know, bro.
they have a
We
clingy
played it. We played it, bro. We played it, bro.
they cleave onto familiarity. They cling onto things that are known, what they can expect. So they struggle with expectation. I expect things to remain the same,
You gonna be
so
tight,
I
bro. Let me
know,
get that shit on my phone.
right? It's a comfort, and if that comfort becomes too
Let me get
grounded,
that shit on PC, bro.
you can never fly. All right. That's why in Peter Pan,
On PC, get some stuff
you
on.
had to think happy thoughts. Even if Tinkerbell gave you the sprinkles, the pixie dust, you still had to think happy thoughts
Alright,
in order
bro.
to fly. Yeah. And so y'all will come back around, but if your spirit calls you to go in another direction and you stay stagnant because of loyalty, expectation, comfort zones, even a gang mentality, right? When we say gang, we're really saying like blood in, blood out. We are participating in a clique type mentality that also can be counterproductive to us if we're not careful. All right.
No, I definitely
So it doesn't benefit you or the person that you're helping to separate yourself for too long from how we're all connected together as a whole. At the end of the day, we are more than
person
fragments.
with the fuming.
So let's get your the last cards.
You don't have to get off, bro. Wait, my chat messing with my delete my bad.
And then to be careful, like, for those of you guys that are in a position of healing and stuff like that, sometimes, the divine will test you to see if you're more loyal to your soul and your calling than you are to the expectations of reality. Whether that's your job, whether that's your purpose. If your soul is saying you need to go to the other side of the world and you start coming up with all these different excuses of why you can't go, God gonna say, all right, cool. I'll go to the next person's house. I'll go to the next person who's ready. Because if you want it bad enough, you don't make excuses. And that's just that's how it be.
Because it was like suggestions in the wind.
And so sometimes you can have the manifestation of those archons telling you, like, don't leave me, don't leave me. And they'll be communicating to you. They're not real people, but they're the manifestation of that communication being like helping you, keeping you back from your own soul purpose.
Definitely gotta pray for them.
And even when the archons start to manifest and communicate to you, you're still being tested to see, can you discern the difference between what your soul is saying and what your ego is saying. Okay. So we have the Five of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Page of Swords in reverse, the High Priestess in reverse, and the Five of Swords. Damn. Give me back my music, Spirit.
Let me see.
Give me back my music. Okay. And there's more than one way to reciprocate something. Sometimes reciprocation is not meant to be immediate gratification. When we expect immediate gratification for something that we put out, that's our ego. That's our entitlement. When we're saying, I did this for you, and we start counting down, like, okay, I haven't got my reciprocation, right? That's one of the things that's conditioned to us when we're told to say thank you for everything that someone does, right? We're taught to give immediate gratification. Let that person know immediately that I am grateful for this, right? Say you're welcome. Because if you don't say it right away, what's the first thing someone will say? Damn, you couldn't even say thank you? You're ungrateful. So that's a way to project onto one another. And so when they teach you that very young, as you get older, your brain starts to process that reciprocity is something that must be immediate. Your reciprocity can come years from now, right? No different than if a person randomly gives a homeless person $1,000 and they forget about it. And then 10 years later, that homeless person's on television saying, I'll never forget that person that gave me $1,000. They changed my life. For 10 years, I've been waiting to say thank you in this way,
Yo, Kyle, how do you
right? And then the person like, oh, I wasn't even thinking about it. I just felt it on my spirit to do this. And that's reciprocity. Time is an illusion. So anytime that we feel like we're not getting reciprocity, it's because spirit is trying to tell us. The message that spirit has for us is that we have a limited belief system that's conditioned to believe that reciprocity is something that you must be in control of, right? And the more that you want it, the more the divine will literally delay it, because the message that you're meant to receive is that release the entitlement and the expectation of how you're supposed to receive your reciprocity, right? Which is why you won't see me telling you like, subscribe, and follow, because you're gonna come and you're gonna go, and it's meant to be a revolving door. If I placed attachments to my reciprocity of how I want to be received, how I want to receive, I would be in my south node. My south node is Leo. I would be operating from my expectation that when I perform at a concert, I'm supposed to get ticket sales. When I show up in this way, I'm supposed to be getting my fame, my spotlight, and my recognition. I'm not important. I'm really nobody, for real, for real. And so, in order for me to remain in my south node, I relinquish my expectation for reciprocity, because nobody can give me reciprocity. God determines when I receive reciprocity. Because favor is always in the eyesight of the divine, not mine. So I relinquish all of that. And that's why I could do what I want to do for how long I want to do it. I can log in or log out. I can talk about whatever I want to talk about, because I'm not pleasing the algorithm, I'm not pleasing people. Don't nobody run spirit. I will never let anyone run spirit through me. Ever.
Exactly, bro. You need to worry.
And that's just how it go.
Don't you need to worry about getting all the cameras.
And there's times where spirit will say, don't log in. Do log in. Don't log in. And I live every day unpredictable. And I don't make plans. When I make a plan, I get a lot of conflict. Sometimes y'all hear noise, and people will tell me and message me and email me and say, I want to listen to you, but I can't hear because there's too much background noise and there's too much distraction. Then you're not supposed to be here. Spirit is saying you're not ready to receive what you hear. It's going in one ear and out the other. That's okay. But when you need it, you know where to find it. Sometimes we're meant to come across other people sometimes before. There's levels to this shit. So about this energy here, though.
I tried to keep you like, no, I need your keys, dude. You don't even leave it, dude. Why you gotta leave?
Okay, so I feel like one of your biggest conflicts right now, is with the, I feel like you're going to meet people that see greatness in you, and they would want to use your gift for them, which means these are arrogant, these are egotistical people. Okay. Typically leaders, pioneers, people that are good at seeing talent. They're good at seeing that you got a gift or that you're good at something, and they start to be like, "Oh wow, I could use you for this. Yeah, you would make sure nothing comes my way." Like they'll start to want to use you for their. It's like, think of like God being thought. Okay, God is intelligence, right? Um, and so it's like these connections will want to test you to see if you would disconnect from source and plug into them and be like their protege. Okay. You know, in the movie Lion King, how the white lions had he had like a group of truth tellers, right? So he was like when he said he didn't want to know what happened, that his reckoning was going to come now, and then all the female lions came around him and was pretty much telling what he did, right? Spies. Each and every single one of them became loyal and fixed to that king, and he used them as a weapon against their own kind, and became like a tyrant. Okay, that's kind of like what you attract, like really big egos that look at you and they view you as someone that can be untaught and retaught new tricks, new trades, new, you know, it's like, oh yeah, you'll be a good monitoring spirit for me, or yeah, you'll be a good oracle for me, or you'll be a good intuitive for me, but it won't be the high priest upright. It'll be the high priestess in reverse, because you're not receiving your messages, your clarity, and your orders from source consciousness. You're receiving it from whatever egotistical mind, mastermind is trying to play God. Okay. And be mindful, because how you will meet these people, they like to come and find you during your struggle, your season of struggle. It's like you become loyal to the person. You know how reciprocity be the thing that gets you caught, right? You struggling, you down bad, you unemployed, you having financial issues, and then here this person comes and like, oh, I see talent in you, and they see talent in you, and then they start feeding you. When you start giving a cat milk, that cat gonna keep coming back to that porch. When you feed a stray, that stray gonna keep coming back to you. That's how they're roping you in. That's how they're gonna try to rope you in. Is your loyalty. They're trying to trigger that switch inside of you that says, oh my God, this person helped me when I was down bad. They did this for me. They did that for me. How could they not love me? They're the only ones that were there for me. They're gonna play off your trauma. Okay, and then you become loyal to a fault, and you won't even realize that you have literally subscribed to be the bearer of bad news, like to tell this person everything. Little worker. So that's what I'm seeing here. You got a couple that watch you and they're fascinated with the Page of Swords. And it's almost like a challenge. I like that you're bad news. I like that you're hard to tame, you're hard to teach. I like that challenge. I think you'll make a good partner. Think you'll make a good partner, spouse. Now, partners can be, like I said, so I feel like someone is trying to reteach you something, shift your perspective. They want you to start. I don't care if this is a relationship and you in a relationship. Let's say you're in a relationship or you have a twin that likes to do this type of hook, line, and sink you type of energy. Only thing you need to know about this plot, when you start using your premonition to tell this person when bad things are going to happen to them, that's how they know that you're programmed to be their informant, all right? To be their oracle, their intuitive. So when you're saying, oh, when you start reminding this person about things that they got to do by a certain date, when they start conditioning you to remember that this person is running out of socks, they need new socks, or picking up the slack where they usually do it, they're conditioning you to be a good messenger for them. Okay. And then at the same breath, they'll tell you all you think about is what's bad happening. And that's because the universe is saying, hey, listen, you're plugged into that person. You're not plugged into me. And that person is, they're able to tell when you stop telling them to slow down when they're driving, when you start telling them that they need to stop drinking something. If you are giving, constantly telling someone over and over and over again, you need to stop doing this. I noticed that you were doing that. Or when you stop doing that, that's when they become aware that you're not, your whole existence is no longer revolved around telling them how to avoid pitfalls. These egotistical people feel like when you are always picking up on their pitfalls, that you are invested in seeing them thrive and be successful, that that is your sole purpose. And the divine is saying that is not your sole purpose. That's a lie. Your sole purpose could also be allowing them to hit those pitfalls, watching them fall. Let them hit face first. Even if you can see it, doesn't mean you're supposed to tell it. Discernment teaches you that not everything is you're meant to prevent from happening. Sometimes letting it happen is a part of the life lesson. Okay? So that's what I got for you guys. This has been fun. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Thank you so much. Just 2 cents. Thank you, Dale. All right, y'all enjoy y'all day. I'll catch you on the other side. Let me end this live. I'll see you later.